What's happening, guys? It's Nate and Scott from Play Your Court. Today we're going to talk about how to get easy power on your serve.
That's right, guys. This video is for players of all skill levels, but if you don't have a Play Your Court rating yet, try the community for free.
There's a lot of mechanisms that add power to the serve, but one of the biggest, accounting for more than 50% of the power on the serve, is internal shoulder rotation. Internal shoulder rotation combined with the wrist snap, the ability to have your wrist being flexible and snap it, accounts for just a massive amount of power. And it's something that's easily missed if you're not familiar with it. So today we're going to show it to you in 3 easy progressions. Let's jump into the action. All right, in this first progression, it's a simple exercise up at the net, but it's gonna be excellent for feeling this internal shoulder rotation. So all Scott's doing here is he's starting with his racket towards the net, and he's allowing the racket to make contact. Go ahead and make a little contact with the net so we can hear it. And that's just really signifying that wrist snap. But this is all a product of that internal shoulder rotation.
That's right. And guys, one thing to note, as I'm doing this, your grip has to be relaxed. You can't get this full rotation if you're squeezing the racket too tight. So during this exercise, make sure you've got a light grip. That'll help with that exact wrist snap we're looking for.
And you can take this up levels, right? So he started low, and then we start working our way up until ultimately it's at the height of what we'd see for the serve. So in this next progression, we get to have a little fun here. Everybody always wants to hit their overhead over the back fence, right? You bounce it on the ground and it goes to the back fence. This is all about the internal shoulder rotation and the wrist snap that makes the serve so big. You know, serve, overhead, and basically the same thing, except you're just tossing the ball to yourself from the serve. So in this exercise, Scott is tossing to himself and working on getting that racket above the ball to get that snap.
I'll hit the ceiling. Does that count?
It's not bad. It's not over the back fence, but it's not bad. Oh, over the pipe.
Over the
pipe,
over the
yeah,
back fence.
That's worth 2.
Guys, as you're doing this too, remember the relaxed wrist is the only way this can happen. If I stiffen up, here's what happens. I can't get that same pop, and that ball has no chance of going over the back fence. So don't squeeze too tight.
That's a great point, because the arm is the conduit for power here, right? And as soon as it operates like a stick, it loses all its power. The flexibility is what makes it work like a whip, and that is where the power is coming from. I'm glad you added that, because that firm wrist is going to rob everybody of any chance of achieving this. All right, guys, let's jump into progression number 3.
We'll get back to the coaching in just a second, but first, we really appreciate you watching our channel, and as a thank you, we want to give you our 3-part Serve Mastery video course for free. This course will turn your serve into a massive weapon, and we normally sell it for $100, but if you stick around till the end of this video, we'll give it to you for free. All right, let's get back to the coaching.
So the final progression here before we jump into hitting the actual serve from a toss is doing the same exercise from the baseline. Scott's tossing up, and he's going to focus on keeping his arm straight. There can be a small bend here, but not a ton as he works through this internal shoulder rotation, and again, keeping that wrist nice and loose. But you can tell there's a big pop here, and this power being delivered is the shoulder working and coming to that stop. All right, let's jump into the final demo. All right, and here Scott is going to hit the full serve, but he's not going to put a ton of emphasis in the legs, not worried about a lot of jumping, just really focusing from a trophy position, going into this internal rotation and allowing the arm to pronate and snap. All right, guys, so just a few tools in order to really feel one of the many components, but a big component on creating power on that serve. Really important to remember though, when you get into that full serving, you're not keeping your arm straight low. You want to get that extension up. We're always going up on that serve.
That's right, guys, and don't forget, relax the hand for max flexion and power there. So, as always, we'd like to hook you guys up with something special in the comments section. If you're not in our community already, you're really messing up, but we're gonna let you try it for free, so check that out. Also, serve course that we normally sell for $100, we're giving that to you for free down there as well. So check out the comments section, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
See you guys soon.